Well, it took a week, but Southwest Airlines says it's now back on track. But with the airline's outdated system, how can company officials make sure the cancellation chaos doesn't happen again? For the answer, or maybe a look more into that, Fox 4's Alex Boyer joining us with more, because I think, Alex, a lot of people are wondering, is there an answer at this point?
Yeah, time will tell. You know, it seems that Southwest Airlines, for the time being, has been able to turn the page on this December disaster. No cancellations of note here at Dallas Love Field today. And that giant pile of luggage we had been showing you all week long, a baggage claim, is now gone. But I talked to a travel expert that says it's imperative that Southwest Airlines take some steps to make sure that this doesn't happen again in the near future. Southwest Airlines passengers are singing a much different tune Friday.
The flight was wonderful. Everything was wonderful.
At Dallas Love Field Friday, there was no red on the flight board. All scheduled flights were a go.
Everything went smooth with our flight today.
Jasmine Owens flew in from Chicago. She said she was worried she wouldn't be able to make it back home to Dallas in time for New Year's.
It was on time, no delays whatsoever.
Southwest says it has returned to normal operation as of Friday, albeit flying a reduced schedule. The Dallas-based carrier suffered a system-wide meltdown over the Christmas holiday weekend that left tens of thousands of passengers stranded at airports across the country.
Clearly, today seems to be a day when we're turning the corner, when we're starting to see light at the end of the tunnel.
Gabe Saglier is the senior editor at Travel Zoo. He says it's a positive sign that Southwest is seemingly getting back on track, but warns this kind of disaster could happen again.
There have been signs that this was a potential problem in the works for several months, if not several years.
Saglier is referring to Southwest's antiquated system, which the airline uses to reassign flight crews when flights are canceled. Earlier this week, the carrier's CEO acknowledged the problem and said they're doubling down on system-wide upgrades already in the works.
I mean, we had flight attendants, for example, on hold just like customers for 5, 6, 7 hours.
Saglier says Southwest also needs to re-examine whether their so-called point-to-point operation still works for the growing carrier.
That instead of having a major set of hubs out of which these crews and airplanes operate, Southwest does operate this sort of point-to-point system, which, when it was a much smaller airline, worked very, very efficiently for them.
For now, Southwest passengers will take any good news they can get.
So far, so good.
And Saglier also says that Southwest Airlines needs to look at what's called an interline agreement with other airlines. Basically, what that does is it allows Southwest Airlines to book any stranded customer on another carrier in the event of another meltdown like we saw this past week.